After watching a full season of Netflix live action Avatar The Last Airbender, which literally gave me nightmares, I have no interest in checking out the second season. None, because I saw no reason for that to ever be made into a live action. We got a live action movie before from M. Night Shyamalan that wasn't good. This live action version of it also wasn't good. I think the animation, the animated version of Avatar is really good. I don't like Korra. Sorry, everybody who doesn't know that, but I don't like Korra. I am more interested in Aang and his friends, and that's what I want to see. Okay. But once again, we've gotten some news coming out, and this time, the second season of the live action Avatar series is planning to make Toph a little bit more feminine. Because, the whole fact that she was this small, tiny little girl who you wouldn't expect to be such a badass and a tomboy was what made her character interesting. Nope, that ain't gonna work. Let's make her more feminine because reasons. Dive into this article here from Bounding into Comics. Netflix's Avatar The Last Airbender to feature slightly more feminine top than animated original. Yes, because apparently this is what they want. In confirming yet more changes are on the way for the gangs, gangs like Ang, okay, live action adaptation, upcoming Avatar The Last Airbender cast member Mia Ketch has revealed that per Netflix's direction, her portrayal of the blind Earthbender Toph will be slightly more feminine than her animated counterpart. I remember when there was talk about how they wanted to cast a blind actress to play Toph. And that might sound ridiculous to you, or you might say, well, oh, wrong, whatever. It's the same thing like a few years ago, while somebody talking and saying that, oh, a blind actor should play Daredevil. And I'm like, you realize the whole point of Daredevil is the fact that he can do pretty amazing things that blind people can't do. That's the thing. That is the thing. But no, you don't really seem to get that. But okay, so that was the talk at one point, and now they want to make Toph more girly. I mean, the first time you met Toph, when you saw her as the blind bandit, that was freaking incredible because no one was expecting this small little girl who looked so fragile to be the most powerful earthbender ever. Nobody. And then you got it and you were like, yes, that's what everybody wants. What are you gonna do? I mean, yeah, look at here as the blind bandit. This was cool. This was really, really cool. Ketch, whose notable television credits include lead roles on such YA-oriented series as Nickelodeon's The Astronauts and Apple TV's Surfside Girls, provided this insight into Toph's live-action character while speaking to The Direct on the red carpet for Marshmallow, a new horror outing from the director behind the animated Tales of the Black Freighter short made in promotion of Zack Snyder's 2009 Watchmen film. Daniel Del Purgantario, I hope I pronounced that correctly, in which she stars as one of its leads, okay? Pressed by the outlet as to what changes, if any, had been made to the fan favorite Earthbender in her jump to live action. Of course, because they always have to ask about what changes you're going to make. Of course, Catch detailed, my version of Toph is going to be a little older and slightly more feminine. I feel like I wanted to work into a very humanizing space for her because she was a cartoon. Or because she was a cartoon. Well, let's look at what they did in the first season, right? They basically changed the whole thing with the avatar and stuff because, the only avatar that Aang ever really interacted with early on was Avatar Roku. No, they changed all of that and putting all kind of different avatar and all kind of different this and all kind of different that. Even Katara's whole personality and everything was changed. Because the whole thing about Katara is that, yes, she was a bit hot-headed at times, but she was passionate, she was caring. That's what made her such an interesting character. All of these characters had interesting things about them. Hell, even Sokka, who they returning on said, old Sokka was too sexist and they had to change all kind of nonsense. No, that was the thing that made Sokka who he was. You understand me? He would come out and say these things about how, to try to make it seem like, okay, well, because he's a man and he's a thing, he's better than women, and he got humble and he learned. That's what made the character interesting. What made it really good, really fun. All of it is what you did and what made it a really interesting and cool thing about them. It changed all of that in the whole live action version. Understand me? It changed it. Hell, even Zuko got changed to some extent in regards to certain things. Azula as well. It was really, really, really ridiculous. And now you're coming in here and said you wanted to work, wanted to work into a very humanizing space for her because she was a cartoon. Maybe you should just leave it as a cartoon and stop putting your foot where it don't belong. Toph, what made Toph such an interesting character was the disparity between her. She was this very small little girl that you would not expect. You would think would be so fragile, but it turned out she was like this badass tomboy character. But she was also caring and sweet and funny. That's what was interesting about the character. That's what did it. I mean, when you hear Toph would be making these jokes about her being blind and all kind of thing, you would crack up because it was fun. That's what the character was. But no, when I hear it makes me worried because, like I said, I watched the first season, horrible, and I have no interest in watching the second season now. And this already telling me all the reasons necessary to stay away from it. Let me continue on. Ostensibly seeking to offer fans some level of reassurance regarding her performance, the actress further noted, I have met with Michaela Jill Murphy, who plays the voice of Toph in the original animated series, and I feel like we have both a very similar take in terms of process. Yeah, that really truly doesn't mean anything. Honestly, that doesn't mean anything at all. Because keep in mind, the creators behind Avatar, the Last Airbender, they actually were part of the Netflix project and left due to disagreements because they did not like what was being done. They left there. You understand me? They left. What another example? Look at Cowboy Bebop, for instance. The woman who played Faye Valentine said that she got encouragement from the man who voiced Spike. Understand me? And she said that she was doing the character justice and all kind of stuff like that. And the whole thing turned out to be an absolute and utter disaster. And they canceled it before the first season was even over. These things, when they talk about how, oh, they met with this person, it does not reassure anybody in anything at all. Honestly, because these companies know what they want to do. They have it in their mind what they want to do. They tell these actors and actresses what they want to do. And when these things flop hard and people say to themselves, you know what, you are not doing any justice to what we love, and they walk away and they turn around and they blame the fans because they don't seem to realize, if you just make good things, people will watch it. But no, apparently that's too difficult to comprehend. So, whatever. Notably, while Ketch's interview marks the first ever mention of Netflix's intention of making the young Earthbender more feminine, that she would be aged up in live action has previously been confirmed, and by her actress no less. Well, yeah, that was pretty much what it was going to do. Speaking to Pacific Rim Video Press regarding her upcoming role as Toph ahead of the 2024 Unforgettable Gala, an annual award ceremony meant to honor the biggest name of the Asian and Pacific Islander community. The actress detailed she's a little bit older, so she's not a little kid anymore. She is still the same Spitfire, spunky character who gets to call a certain character Twinkle Toes, she added. I think there are going to be a lot of things that the fans are going to remember from the animated series, a lot of things that are brand new. I have no problem with people doing what they're doing, but again, like I say, not everything needs a live action. I've said that made before. How many times you would have failed at it before you realize, baby, it's time we don't do this anymore. To this end, Netflix's Avatar: The Last Airbender executive producer Jabbar Raisani did tell the director of the 2024 Pilifest TV Media Festival, in terms of Toph character, we really rely on the animated series, so I think you're gonna see a lot of the dynamics that were true in the animated series come true in live action. It won't be a one-to-one. You can never do a one-to-one, but expect that feeling all over again. Look, I'm very sorry, but you all could do whatever you want. I have no interest in this thing anymore. The first season burned me so bad, I don't want to see it again. However, given how the series has handled its source material so far, from completely wrecking the character of King Boomy, yeah, to changing Aang's acceptance of his role as the Avatar, from a gradual lesson he learns by interacting with the world's citizens to a sudden realization he has after being given a vision of the Fire Nation impending attack on the Northern Water Tribe. Fans would do well to put as little stock as possible in Raisani's promises. They messed up King Boomy really bad. The whole thing with Aang was that it was, like they say, it was a gradual acceptance, because Aang didn't want to believe it. You understand? So he had to go through this journey to become the Avatar. But no, all of a sudden get a vision of the Fire Nation attacking the Northern Water Tribe, and bam, okay, that's gonna be okay, and done with it. Yeah. Come on now. Ultimately, how Netflix will handle the Toph's transformation from defiant tomboy, which is what was cool about the character, to outwardly feminine remains to be seen when the live-action Avatar: The Last Airbender returns for its second season on a yet-to-be-announced date. Well, good luck for them. I'm sorry, I have no interest in watching that. Like I said, this is apparently what they're going for. Something along those lines. They want to make Toph more feminine. That is how they're going to play it. Nothing I could say at this point to change that. All I can say is that I won't be checking this out. That is my 2 cents, right? I will be checking this thing out. The first season already told me exactly everything I need to know about this, and I'm good. I'm done. You guys want to check out the second season and see how that turns out? Fine. If something else comes out about it, I need to do a video on it, I will. But other than that, I think I'm done with this Netflix live action Avatar: The Last Airbender, because I just don't see this getting any better at all. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. If you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. If you like, be sure to hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell to be notified every time I upload a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.